Wonderful to kind of have you guys out here. We'll just get started in a minute. We have Madhuri today. She is a designer and she is a no-code expert. Now, I think you'll see her name across so many different forums, really evangelizing the power of no-code. She's a founder of Xperian, co-founder of Xperian. So how are you planning to do that, Madhuri? Just talk us through what the next 1 hour is going to look like so that everyone's kind of really focused and they can actually follow through the entire thing.
My plan is simple. I want to know all your problems so I can pick from one of you and solve that problem right in front of you. So that means I have no context, no planning, nothing. So everything right in front of you. And I just want to see, I go with the flow, because being a designer is that, right? You throw any problem at me, I have to figure it out. So I'll do that.
Okay, so are you ready? So let's kind of get that rolling. We don't want to kind of waste any more time. Let's get that rolling.
Some ground rules before we get started. I want to make sure that I'm solving something that can be done as a business. So whatever is 98%, not super tech heavy, because I cannot code. I cannot talk about tech heavy solutions. So anything to do with AI, ML, deep tech. I'm sorry, Web3 folks, if you're here. No code and Web3 don't gel very well. So we're not talking about that. Anything with deep fintech and regulations, health, those kind of stuff, we can try something a little lower, but definitely we can try that stuff. Yeah. Okay. So let me share my screen and we can get going there. I am going to be using my humble Figma or Sketch file to get started. So let's go. So tell me your problems. Problem number one. I want to hear some problems.
Choosing food in Swiggy. Okay, Abhinav has gotten us started on that. Choosing food on Swiggy. Okay. How to utilize solar power.
Very broad and very narrow. Okay. Tinder without photos.
Vernacular education app for government schools. On-demand ambulance platform. Okay.
Yeah.
Thankfully, people are not just thinking about 10-minute grocery delivery anymore. So that's good. Audio streaming platform for a niche audience. Find a good NFT to buy and not quite sure. Pick a startup for the job. Sort of decentralized library. Learn guitar. Daily habits tracker. How to sell self-published ebooks.
Day-to-day great notes. There are many ways to take notes, but we're trying to go from concept to idea quickly. Okay. Connecting aspiring interns to hiring managers. Good thing. Aggregator app. Okay. Personal finance tracker, great. Personal note-making system, even a better idea.
Cohort-based courses for mid-career professionals. Okay.
We know that's next leap, so I know what to answer.
Good validation. Yeah. Democratize building apps for customer business needs on a platform. Finding a mentor or a coach. Okay.
Okay. What else? Habit tracking. Note taking.
Accountability tools for meeting goals. Okay. Apparel shopping online without the choice overload. Mentoring marketplace. A lot of mentoring stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Definitely a lot of marketplaces is something, a good idea that we can look at.
Yeah.
So we can just say marketplaces. Okay. Very interesting. TikTok for news. Yeah.
Connecting skilled experts in different industries to amateurs for mentoring. Again, mentoring. Okay. Finding houses. Okay.
Yeah.
Though she always is still in the hunt for finding houses, so I think that's where it's coming from. Personal problem. Finding maids. Okay. So marketplace ideas, basically a lot of them. Okay.
Yes. Finding a place to rent.
Roommate matching. Okay. Everyone's coming from their personal problem space, I guess. Okay.
It's good. Yeah. More ideas, more resonance, even better.
Collate all free webinars happening over a weekend. Glassdoor for landlords. Okay. Seems like people are trying to find houses.
Yes.
Okay, so we have a few interesting ones out here. Seems like Madhuri.
Yes, so I see that there are some tracking related stuff, there are some habit related stuff, and there are some mentor and coaching. Mentor and coaching seems to be the most common theme everybody wants to kind of understand. So is it okay if I narrow down and say enable a set of people to kind of connect to each other as somebody who's a junior and a senior. Would that be okay as an idea?
Go
Yes.
for it, Madhuri. Yeah.
Chosen problem statement is mentor matching. So whoever has chosen this problem statement, um, like one of the top person that we can pick out, like if you can just speak out, I want one person speaking to me for this problem statement.
Sure, I can volunteer here. This is
Yes.
Achal.
Can I know your name, please? Yeah.
This is Achal.
Achal. Hi. Yeah.
Hey, hi.
So when you said mentor matching, which type of mentors and what kind of people did you want to match in this context? Who is the customer essentially? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, so essentially, I'm into product management. You can assume like definitely product managers are the customer.
Okay.
And if you have to take a broader view, I will say uh, mid to senior professionals looking to move further, or like you can say from starter to mid professionals looking to move further in
Okay.
career and getting to know trying to understand what worked for people at who have already achieved it, right?
Yeah.
And essential problem is that mentor finding mentor is kind of a networking exercise, right? And
Okay.
it's kind of hard.
Mhm.
It's kind of right now it's cold calling, right, to people to be their mentor. So that is the problem.
Great. This is good. One other question I would have in this is you told me about one kind of customer because this is matching. That means that you are expecting to match with somebody else, right? Mid to senior professional who's trying to connect. Who am I trying to connect? Who's the other person?
So they get many problems, right? One is how to become better at a specific skill.
Is this somebody who is aspiring to be a product manager?
Yeah, it can be for college people, but if I'm talking about myself, so kind of a mid management professional, and trying to move into senior roles, moving from execution to strategy focus, people management focus roles. And I'm trying to when you're saying match, I'm trying to basically uh, learn from people who have already done it, and can help me identify uh, where am I, where I want to go, and what do I need to do to go there.
Got it. Is this making sense if I say aspiring product managers and mid management professionals trying to move into senior roles? You are essentially trying to learn from people who have been there, done that. This is kind of the customer. Would this kind of fit the person who is going to be a mentor who's trying to match with somebody like that? Would that make sense?
Yeah, and when I say learn, it is about like basically step by step learning, customized learning to me, because generic courses I can find many, but how to apply those in my day-to-day situations, how to
Contextual,
uh,
essentially.
yeah.
Can I ask you what are the pain points you're trying to solve? Like when you say that, hey, this is the problem I'm facing, so can you tell me like what pains do you generally have? So even others in the chat, you can just put down like when you're trying to connect with other product managers or aspiring, if you're aspiring, or if you want to talk to somebody who's few steps in front of you, what are the typical pain points do you go through that you feel that you should reach out?
Yeah, I think from the base, starting from the like first step, at like finding mentors, like who are the people whom I at least shortlist
Hmm.
for reaching out to them for mentorship, right?
Okay.
How to find them, how to decide what should be my shortlist, right?
Decide.
And
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
And
and then it is about how should I reach out to them, how to convince them to be my mentor, and how to basically have a discussion so that I can decide whether that person is whom I want to be my mentor, or and similarly that person also deciding whether he should mentor me or not.
okay.
Okay, to know whether in fact that person is open to mentorship or not.
Yeah. So you can understand they are open to mentorship. So I can read some stuff in the chat. Finding people who are right for you. Yes, that I think that's a big pain point.
Mm-hmm.
And incentives, not sure what incentives work. Not sure if I can get one-to-one access. Okay. I can see the nice ones here. Not sure if someone is still figuring out how to mentor or just a seasoned mentor, right? Is this making sense?
Yeah.
I am on the clock, so forgive me if I can't take all your pain points. So relevance,
Yeah.
right level, right. So
Yeah. This list makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, this is a good one. Relevance to your subject matter, expertise. You could be in fintech, but taking somebody from another subject might not make sense, right? So these pain points make sense to me. The one big thing, like if you get this mentorship, what
Mm.
is that you will gain from these people? So feel free to just share some gains. Like what will happen if you get mentorship? Career growth? Yes. Great point.
Yeah. Obviously, career growth and a personal improvement, skills improvement, right?
Okay.
Enhancing my skills
Mhm.
and becoming better and hence improving. So basically, career growth summarizes everything,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Which is the end goal, if I can say. Would that be right?
Yeah, yeah,
End goal would be to get better career growth, obviously. But you
yeah.
also want to avoid. I'm reading some from the chat, right? Like for
And
example,
I think it will also be about becoming better, even if the career growth might not happen immediately, but what visible improvements or becoming better at product management, product
yeah,
strategy,
yeah.
managing product managers, right? So handling difficult situations, improving confidence, right? So those will be the gains.
Okay. Learning to handle difficult situations. Understanding there have been, sorry, through the same trenches and validation. Would that be right? Yeah.
I think like better self understanding will also be one gain.
Yeah. Better self understanding. Cool. What else do you see that would super help you in once this say mentorship is fixed? That kind of stuff.
Networking, yeah, networking
Yeah.
will also be one
Open new doors.
byproduct.
Yeah. Okay. So I've noted some pain points. So essentially, what I've understood is, as somebody who's a product manager or somebody who's in a mid to senior is trying to connect and learn from people. So essentially, they want to understand who can open doors for them, who can accelerate their career growth. If I'm, painfully clear on that. Yeah. So now let's take this further and let me ask you another question. Like, let's just say, what kind of solutions do we see? Like, you can just put in the chat, like, what kind of solutions do we see for this kind of stuff? A solution doesn't mean an app, it can also be a networking opportunity or anything like that. Alumni network. What else? Okay, Slack communities, job opportunities, role based groups.
Yeah, currently, I think various leadership and like specific profession coaches are also solving this, but I think it's more on one-to-one basis as compared to a platform.
These are all different types of communities. What more can we see? Marketplace. That is just one part of it. Yeah.
LinkedIn events and Facebook events. That is definitely one
Events.
solution.
Okay. What else? Would also solutions be like somebody who is taking the authority of connecting two people?
What do you mean by that? Can you explain a bit more?
A platform connecting two people based on commonalities, common points. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
What else? Workshops. Cool. So could it also be some guides written by senior professionals, YouTube videos? Yeah. Lists of lists, essentially, like different types of options. Yeah. Job boards, different solutions for the same problem statement. Yeah. So from all these solutions, I see that connecting two people based on common points gets to the point directly, right? Because it allows people to quickly say, hey, these are the things I'm looking for, and this is what I want to offer. So I just want to kind of quickly connect with somebody who's available. Would that be making sense? Yeah.
And by this, you mean something like a Tinder for mentor matching. Is that it?
Yeah,
By
something
this
like
point.
that. Yeah, at this point. And now the chosen solution that I have narrowed down. Okay, so now that we have come to this point, now let's go ahead and ask the person who's volunteered, Achal, can you tell me what are the features that you think that we can kind of build as a part of this? Nothing super fantastic and big, something that's possible.
Like I'm now thinking like a Tinder for mentor matching. So
Okay,
all
but
those
Tinder is
swipe left,
pretty good.
swipe right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
and
good story. But yeah, tell me
yeah,
some features.
yeah.
Profiles.
Basically, yeah, definitely profiles
Okay.
and search feature, right? The search
Yeah.
on various parameters,
Hmm.
tags, right? And suggestions, right? That these can be the right mentors for you, that kind of suggestions. I think I'm just trying to solve the first problem of finding a mentor. And
Okay.
so that for that, these features will help.
So somebody suggested time visibility, like
Hmm.
what are they
Yeah, that will
available?
be the next step.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that will be the next step.
Okay. But one good question. I don't understand why mentor would match with the mentee. Maybe it could be the other way around. The mentors are just listing their profiles, and the mentees go ahead and match with.
Yeah, because mentors are the ones providing services,
Yes.
right? And hence it makes sense for them to call out, okay, they are available
Yeah.
for providing services and even like is interested, right? Or finds them valuable or finds them the right match. Yeah,
Okay.
ratings definitely help. Yeah, previous mentors, mentees feedback also. Right? And now obviously we should be also having like what are their charges, what kind of incentive they're expecting,
Sure. Yeah.
right? What kind of time commitment they will give.
Cost for booking
What
time.
the
That'd be good. Yeah.
yeah
Okay.
yeah
Great. Now we have this. Now let's talk little technicalities here. What is the technical feature of this thing looking like? So, for example, when I just say mentors, would that be a list of information? Something like technically, let's look at that.
So
So,
when you say technically, you mean from like
soft profiles, that's what.
database perspective or
Yes, yeah,
APIs
something
perspective?
from a database perspective. Yeah, yeah, okay. So, search, filter, related options. So, I should be able to add, edit, delete, and basically I'm trying to update. Edit is already there. Add, delete details of mentor. Okay, and I should also be able to offer a space to add booking time, something like that. Yeah, review feature. Guys, I'm sticking to the mentor part. I know there are two parts to this, so I'm just going to stick to the technical aspects of mentor. Okay. All right. So we have arrived at something technical from all this thought process. I have come here. And this is where it kind of gets interesting. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to say that because of these technical features, and we are all saying that this is something like an app, right? Because it offers all this functionality that is there, right? So once I go and zoom in to the app related options in the no code landscape, right? The no code landscape is huge. There are a ton of stuff that is available out there, and it can get quite confusing. So this was curated specifically by our team. We have almost tested 180 plus tools to just make this landscape. And if you look at the marketplace as a section, you can just zoom into that part, because we know what problem we're solving. We just go into that part specifically, and we have something called as glide apps. Glide apps allows us to make um, apps quickly using this, using the data that we have. So let's go ahead and use glide apps. For this example, I'm just going to use this, and then we can debate, okay, which app is better than which and all of that. So can we go with that? Yeah. So you can
Sure.
get this. The Next Leap team will share it with you via email soon. Yeah. Okay. So I've chosen my stack to be glide apps. So before I touch glide apps, I need to open up my information. Like, what all will a profile have? Mentor profile have. Okay. So
Sure.
I'm going to have, say, a photo, right? I also need to know their name, where their current work location, yeah, work current work is, basically company. I also need to know their LinkedIn link, right, so that I can learn more about them. I need to know if they have mentored people previously, so probably
Yeah,
a mentee.
mentorship experience. Yeah.
Yes, mentees. So we can basically ask for their mentorship experience, right? And we
And
can,
the skills on which they provide
yes,
mentorship, or the topics or the areas.
yeah. So skills are essentially the topics that we have. And we also need to know, if you look at the type of information we had collected, like look at this, what kind of the gains, and these all will inform us the information that the profile of a mentor should have, right? So we will go for the rest. If you actually look at this, right, there is also a huge space to add a booking time. So I'm going to, because this is my 0 to 1, remember, I'm not building everything from scratch. I want to leverage no code tools to get this out and running. So I'm going to go ahead, look into my stack, and you can actually see there is a huge section called calendars and scheduling. So there's something called calendly. Calendly, if you're on Twitter, you know the outrage it has. But definitely Calendly allows you to book a time, and I set whatever time that I can offer, right? So here I'm just going to say Calendly link. Okay. So I prepare my Calendly link and add it as a mentor. Would that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So mentorship experience would essentially be a list of mentees. Okay. And any testimonials they had previously. So this I'm leveraging on their existing work to do this, right? Phone name, LinkedIn link, all of this. Yeah. And years of experience of work.
And also like charges, or what
Yes.
do they
So
expect to get
let's
done? Yeah.
do that. So the final thing that I want people to see is charge per 30 minutes, because I want people to just connect for 30 minutes. Beyond that, if you do the mentorship beyond 30 minutes, that's on you. I am offering you a 30-minute charge. Is that all right? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that should be good.
So I have some information related to the mentor profile. Okay, so I'm just going to open Glide. So essentially, this is Glide Apps. Glide Apps allows you to create apps and websites without code. for this particular experiment, I'm going to be using Google Sheets as my backend. You can create apps using Google Sheets and connect them with Glide to get your app up and running. So remember, we had just outlined the data of a mentor, right? So I'm just going to call this as platform. Okay. And here I'm going to add in all the information we had originally added in the sketch, right? So saying what are the mentor profile should contain. So I'm just going to take that information, put it here for reference so we can see it. Okay, this is all the information we wanted. So I'm going to name this sheet as mentor profile. Okay. And I want this to be name, then link, current work, years of experience. Yeah, I can't see the chat saying anything I'm missing. Yeah, so Vidhi, I'll add that in. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, languages.
Current location, we didn't consider that. Current company. Sorry. I want to know the languages and a calendar link. I also want them to have like a testimonial. Yeah. So each mentor has their own testimonials, right? So we're just going to map that in later and charge. Okay, so I'm just going to let go of this information. We don't need this anymore. We'll come to the list of 20s and stuff like that later. So if you notice this thing, there are some things that we can standardize, like skills in languages. So I'm going to create a sheet called as options, and I'm going to say languages. Yes. Yes, topics. Yes, topics of mentorship. We're going to add this in, and we're going to also add skills.
Yeah, and rating, mentor rating also.
Yeah, rating. Like I said, we're focusing on the mentor side. We'll come to the mentee side later. Yeah.
Okay.
Then we can add in as many languages as we want. We can, so that people can choose what languages they have. You can put in a whole list, right? Topics of mentorship. So, for example, topics of mentorship could be like working
Leadership,
in
product management, leadership.
Working in unicorn startup, something like that, because that experience is different, right? So in unicorn startups, working with dev, working with design,
senior leadership, senior stakeholders,
working with executives. Is that all right? In mock interviews, interviewing, right? Mock interviewing will cover resume as well. Then negotiation for jobs. Yeah. Like this, you can add as many mentorship topics as you want, but there are some skills that might have to be added here. Like, for example, there are design heavy PMs, right? So there are tech heavy PMs. There are also, I'm just putting in generic. If you feel like, you need to add more skills, just let me know in the chat. Yeah. Growth. Yes. Good. Listing, growth, marketing, sales, B2B, B2C. Now we're becoming generic, but I'm just going to keep these. Make sense so far? So good? Any other questions?
Yeah, this looks good.
This is good? Okay. So the first thing first is we will just make this an application. So I'm going to first go to Glide. make sure you're logged in with the same account. If not, share it with the account that has this. Yeah, you have to log in with the same Google account so that you can access these files there. Okay, it's that account. Yeah. So let's go there. New project. I'm going to say a glide. Um, yes, Bhavna. Google Sheet.
How did we reach to Excel sheet for this storage part, like for database basically?
Glide offers you to use Google Sheets as a backend to make your application.
Okay. That will give us an option. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we can keep adding as many options as we want. You want to add strategy, you want to add all of that.
Hey, Madhuri, one quick question by the time it loads. Does the backend allow for some complex operations to happen? For example, if was a sheet around, say, mentor reviews, ratings, and so on and so forth,
Yeah.
can some kind of a complex function be created on top of it, which calls out how many, so like 100 reviews, 55-star ratings, and so on and so forth? Can those type of derivations happen on the same Excel, on the same Google Sheet as a source of database?
Yeah, you can actually. There are you can just set up some, can do, or you can set up a basic equation on that. I'll show you some formula field where you can do all of this. So here we are. This is the file we worked on, right? We will just open the Google Sheet on the side. So Glide allows you to quickly create the application based on the tabs that you had done. So you can see that because we have no data in the sheet, it is not loading, anything there. So you can see the mentor profiles. We don't have anything here. So let's allow people to add in their information. So because I'm not teaching Glide now, I'm going to go at a speed. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly set this up. Then just remove all this information. And I'm going to ask people to add their information. So I'm just going to say form. And we're going to say heading. Okay. And here I'm just going to give a custom text. But we can invite specific people, all of this for this. And open the form. So add mentor profile. Now we're going to click on this. And it has taken in the information from this sheet called option. So we're just going to switch it to mentor profiles. So automatically it has assumed them all to be text fields. The thing that we have to change is, say, LinkedIn link. We will change it to a URL field. We'll just add this in. Link. So you can actually just keep this thing. They had a URL field earlier. Current company and years of experience, they can just type it in. The current location can be anything. The skills, right? So this should be like, from the choices we had done. Like all these skills, they should be able to choose multiple skills, right? So let's go ahead and set that up, right? So all we'll do here is just remove this, search for something called as a choice component, right? And here in the choice component, we're going to say that the values are skill and will not display anything. The sheet that they get from is the values are skills. Yeah. Now it's saying name. So we're just going to say that it has to map it to the skills column. Title, choose skills. I want it to just be available as chips so people can, and this is compulsory. So that means that they have to select one of these options. I can drag it and just put it wherever I want. So like this, you can set up the whole, this thing. Because I'm on time, I'm just making sure that this is moving quickly. This is required, number of years is required, current location is required, the languages. This also can be done. So all you have to do is just duplicate this. We're going to just, yeah. And we're going to say that the values are languages, and it has said choose a language. Okay. Require allow selecting multiple so that they can select multiple languages. Same applies for skills. Now we'll go to this part and say that the column it has to go set as languages. Done. So we don't have any testimonials. We'll ask this for them separately and charge for 30 minutes and Calendly link and all of this. So if you want to separate all of this, you want to set up your form, you can do all of it. So now let's test this form. I'm just going to put this. We didn't add photo, right? My bad. So let's just go here. We'll just say photo. And I'm going to refresh this. Yes, it finds my new column. All I have to do is go and click on this again. I will add something called as a photo. So if just search for something called as an image picker. Here, it will just map it to the photo column it's required. If you're using your camera, if you're using this on your phone, it will even trigger the photo roll. That means you can take a picture right there and upload it. Right? So let's test this out. Right? So I'm just going to say this. We'll put a LinkedIn link. Okay. Close this. Just add this there. Design. I'm going to use this. Xperian. Okay. I'll just add this link. We will validate for Calendly links later. I'm going to say all of this. We're just going to say, okay, I'm going to choose a photo. And until I upload, the submit button on the top won't be activated. It's activated now. I hit submit. So now your information is submitted. Let's take a look at it. It's already populated. All the information that your customers have put are here. Now I want to show this information to the mentees, right? So that means that the mentors are here and I want to create like a profile for this person, right? So we have a section called user profile and we have to enable this sheet. For this, I have to set up something called as users, or you just say users and we can just refresh it. I'm going beyond my time, waiting for the user sheet to be set up. So first we go into the user sheet, we say name, we say photo, and everything else that we want to set up here we can, right? So let's just refresh it. So the profiles, and it has to take the information from name. You can also add email profiles, all of that. You can do whatever you want. You want to keep adding your things, you can keep adding it. Yes, because the email column was missing, it gave me this huge error it threw off, right? So now all we have to do is go to the mentor profiles and I'll add a unique column called as this is a unique column. So we give it a row ID. We are done, right? So now we go here. Now the first thing that I want to do is enable people to log in and add their information. Okay. So for that, I have to say public with email and allow sign in with Google. I just hit publish app. So before we do that, I want people to see a list here. So we'll remove this options. First we'll say list of mentors. And the source is mentor profiles. So you can see that it has already created a list from my information. So all I'll do is just close all this, create a inline list here. And we're going to say that it's a card because it can be shown nice and big and, make it look good. Right, so let's go ahead. Okay. Now you can say your. Okay. So let us share this. You can scan this, install on your phone also. Let me show you how this works. I can log in with Google. So I can just say log in with any of my accounts. There are a ton of stuff. So I'll just choose, let's just say this. Now it has logged in. You can scan this QR code, it's here. I'll also put the link here. Now I can add my profile. So let me just add my profile quickly. So I'll just say XP. We'll just put one marketing, sales, current company. This you can put 5, location Bangalore. I can add a Calendly link. Let me just do this for now. You can, I mean, when it's an official product, you can do a lot more validation. You can say this. You can choose an image, and in a second it should be up. Hit submit, and I can see a list of mentors. See, all of you are already populating. Yay! Awesome. So I can see. Awesome. Welcome to Glide. I can see all your information here. It's all kind of creating a different people who are logging in, all of that information I can see. Somebody who has created a profile is opening up here. So I need to see if the login has correctly been added. So you see this? I can set up this detailed screen also. So let me do that quickly. I can go here, can say, hey, show me the image. You can say something like this. You can set this up. Image. Let's look at the photo. Cool. As a mentor, do you feel that I have a list of mentors I can look at? I can see what languages they have. I can do all of that. Now I can enable filters for this particular thing as well. So you can see that I can show some buttons. So I can favorite this if I want to, like say, hey, this is my favorite mentor. I want to reach out. You can add some tags that say, hey, this person has this many years of experience. So it shows 9 here. Or you can set up some interesting stuff like you can do some stuff in the background. You can, there are a ton of calculations you can do here. For example, this person just typed in 9, right? So you can even set up saying different column types, rich text, boolean. This is just the start of it, right? So from an idea, getting into the solution is much easier now, given that you are creating it. So for example, somebody created this, so it is the same. You see that, right? Once I set the background, it is set up that way, right? And best part, you can see my profile here, right? So now let me say if I'm viewing it, say like XP, right? I can only see XP's profile here, right? So this is per user data is also possible now. So you can log in, you can create your account, you can view a list of mentors, you can set up your profile, you can do a ton of stuff now, because as a mentee, yeah, by deployable you mean like App Store. There are some hacks around it. People have done it. There is a product exactly like this in the market. One of the Next Leap mentors who are coming for the No Code Builders Fellowship has done it like this. They have actually have it on the Play Store. It's called Steer Me. You can check that out. It's completely built in Glide, and the back end is Google Sheets. All right, so this was just a sample of how you can use no-code tools to go from your problem statement to solution. Give me any solution, we can figure out a way for you to launch it using no-code tools. And this is just the start, guys, honestly. There is a ton of experiments we have done. We have done like 40 plus experiments to just get it going in different no-code tools, which has led to a revenue of 0.7 million in the last 3 years, $1 million, right? So that is something that you can do, provided you know what to do and when to do and when not to do, right? And this is just an ideation session on how you can approach those things.